Alrighty, welcome everybody. Welcome to the 20th episode of the Spin Zone for season 3. A little late this week. We've had a few other shows that have kind of bumped this show because of Black Friday. Hope you guys have been tuning in with regards to those shows. We've got some more Black Friday shows coming up. One tomorrow, where we'll be looking at Apple deals. And then on Tuesday, we'll be looking at all the Black Friday deals for Amazon. So be sure to tune in to that. And we'll be back with the Spin Zone probably later on this week after today's game, which, by the way, today is a good game. It's going to be between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. And as most of you know, they played the first game of the kickoff of the season, and the Cowboys lost to Philadelphia at Philadelphia. I believe it was at Philadelphia. So this is an opportunity for the Cowboys to get payback. So, and of course, it's just me today. All right, my co-host is on vacation, and the chat lines are open for anybody that wants to chime in. But we're going to go over the highlights of this past game. So I'm going to go ahead and flip screens. If y'all give me a second, I'll flip over. All right, let's see here. Where am I? There we go. All righty. As most of you know, the Cowboys played the Las Vegas Raiders, formerly known as the Oakland Raiders, and I think the LA Raiders too, right? But they're famously known as the Oakland Raiders. They were coached by John Madden. So for those of you that play Madden, the game, John Madden was their head coach for quite a long time. So with 4th and 12 and 7:59 remaining in the first quarter, unable to score, the Raiders attempt a 35 yard, not year, 35-yard field goal, and it is good. It allows Las Vegas to score first in the game. That bumps up the score 3 for the Raiders and 0 for the Cowboys. Not a problem. This wasn't panic time. After all, it was just 3 minutes into the first quarter, so there was no sense of panic at this point. You know, the rule is that usually the team that scores first ends up winning the game, but that's not always the case, as we've seen through the entire season, right? So, not a big deal. It's only 3 minutes into the first quarter. The Raiders score, even if it's by a field goal. And with 5:43 remaining still in the first quarter, the Cowboys unable to score a touchdown. Brandon Aubrey attempts a 50-yard field goal, and it is good. No surprise there. That ties the game. Raiders 3 and the Cowboys 3. So that was good. The game's tied. Not a problem. Still in the first quarter. No big deal. And then with 2 minutes still in the first quarter, 4th and 20, same thing. Raiders can't do a touchdown. They attempt a 45-yard field goal, and it is good. That takes up the Raiders 6 and Dallas 3. And then at the start of the second quarter, with 14:55, 2nd and 10, Dak Prescott throws a pass to CeeDee Lamb, and he scores a touchdown, taking the score 10 for Dallas and 6 for the Raiders after the extra point. So within 5 seconds, is it 5 seconds? Yeah, 5 seconds at the start of the second quarter, CD makes a touchdown, and that takes Dallas 10, Raiders 6. Good news. Finally a touchdown. Not knocking the field goals, by the way. And with 5:16 still remaining in the second quarter, a pass is thrown to Jake Ferguson into the end zone for a touchdown, increasing Dallas's lead 17 to Las Vegas 6 after the extra point. So it's good news for Dallas. They're leading, and Las Vegas still remains with 6, unable to score in any of their drives. And with possession of the ball and 2 minutes left before the end of the first half, a ball that is thrown by Las Vegas is intercepted by Dallas, and the Cowboys take possession of the ball. Not good news for the Raiders. It's just getting worse and worse by the minute. And with 1st and 10 and less than a minute remaining before the end of the first half, a pass is thrown to George Pickens, and he runs for a touchdown, taking the score Cowboys 24 to the Raiders 6 after the extra point. So at the close of the first half, it appears that the Raiders are way behind, and Dallas appears to be on a roll, with CD Ferguson taking the lead, and now George Pickens for touchdowns. And with no more time left on the clock before the end of the first half, unable to move that ball much, the Raiders attempt a 35-yard field goal, and it is good. That brings them a slight glimmer of hope, taking their score to 9, but still the Cowboys are way ahead with 24. And with 6:19 remaining in the third quarter, a pass is thrown to Ryan Flournoy for a touchdown. That increases Dallas's lead 31 and the Raiders 9 after the extra point. It just appears to be getting worse and worse by the minute for the Raiders. But never to be left out for good, a pass is thrown in the fourth quarter, at the start of the fourth quarter, to Tucker. He runs for a touchdown. That increases the Raiders' score to 16, but Dallas still leads with 31. And then Dallas manages to get a safety after holding the Raiders at the end zone, increasing the score Cowboys 33 while the Raiders 16. And after that, they weren't very successful. So the Raiders fall to the Cowboys 33-16. So as we mentioned, we've got a couple of games starting with today. Philadelphia today at 3:25 in the afternoon. So be sure to tune into your local football station. I believe it's going to be on Fox. So that game is at 3:25 p.m. this afternoon. Then on November 27th, Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, Dallas plays the Kansas City Chiefs. That game starts at 3:30 p.m. and that's going to be televised on CBS. Then on the 4th, they meet up with Detroit. That's going to be an exclusive game on Amazon Prime Video. So for those of you that subscribe to Amazon Prime Video, you'll be able to watch that game. The rest of you who don't subscribe to Amazon Prime, you won't be able to watch that game, unfortunately. And then on the 14th of December, they'll play Minnesota. That's at 7:20 p.m. That's going to be televised on NBC. And then on the 21st, the week before Thanksgiving, they're going to play the Los Angeles Chargers. That's a noon game on Fox. And then on Christmas Day, they meet up with the Washington Commanders. That's a 12 noon game. That's going to be televised on Netflix. So for those of you who subscribe to Netflix, the Christmas Day game is on Netflix. The rest of you that don't subscribe to Netflix, tough luck. So keep in mind, Thursday, December 4th, with the Detroit, that's Amazon Prime only. And then on Christmas Day, it is Netflix exclusive. So be sure that you've got your subscriptions up to date, fully paid, if you want to watch those games on either Amazon or Netflix. And then the last game of the season is January 4th. That's going to be with the New York Giants. That's going to be a 12 noon game, and we don't know yet where it's going to be televised. The assumption is it'll probably be Fox, but you never know. Alrighty, folks. So that's pretty much it for the highlights of Game 10. Once again, there's a game this afternoon, so we're going to be following that game, and then we'll be back later on this week to give you a set of highlights for game number 11, and as we gear up towards Thursday's game with the Kansas City Chiefs. Alrighty, everybody. Don't forget, please subscribe to Brownsville Tech Live on our YouTube channel. When you do that, you'll get notifications of this show and all the other shows we do. Be sure to visit our mobile apps and take a look at some of the partnerships that we have out there with sports nutrition retailers. We've got outdoor and hunting. We've got fishing. We've even got pizza oven manufacturers out there. So if you guys are looking for some cool gifts for your significant other, be sure to check out our mobile web apps as well. Everybody, have a great Sunday afternoon, and we'll see you tomorrow.